Hi guys, you will find the first and second part of this story in the link in the description box below. I figured everyone would enjoy hearing more stories about my crazy mother. I was traveling down memory lane and remembered this gem from the time I was pregnant with my kid. It's not the worst thing she has done, but it ranks up there with crappy things to do to your kids. Me is me. EM, entitled mother. BD, baby's daddy. P is Patty. I was around 5 months along by this point and already had the gender of the baby. We weren't into those fancy gender reveal parties. I texted everyone we knew the gender right after leaving the appointment. We went to BD's friend's mother's home for a visit. We'll call her Patty. She was very excited for us and begged us to let her be our child's fairy godmother because she was into that whole fantasy and witch-type culture. I didn't see anything wrong with it, even if BD was a little put off, but we agreed. Patty was very happy, and it felt nice to have a supportive person in my life that wasn't trying to control every little thing. Patty then offers to throw a baby shower for us. She admitted that she couldn't buy us extravagant gifts, but that she knew friends who had baby items they no longer needed, and that she would ask if we could have them. I didn't mind hand-me-downs. A lot of my kids' clothing were from the thrift store or Salvation Army for a long time. I was thrilled about the gifts. As long as they weren't broken, I happily accepted them. I got to work right away, making invitations in Photoshop, printed them out, and handwrote everyone's name that I wanted to invite. I even ordered special envelopes with mine, BD's, and the name we had picked out for our baby printed on them. I sent them out, made a Facebook post. I even said that the gifts weren't a requirement. I just wanted to celebrate having a baby with my family. Patty had requested a few invitations to give out to her friends with the hand-me-downs, which I willingly gave. I was looking forward to the big day. I did ask everyone who wanted to come to RSVP by a certain date, just so me and Patty could make sure to have enough food for everyone to eat. By the time the date arrived, no one in my family had RSVP'd, only Patty and her friends, plus BD's friends, along with 2 friends of mine from my old job. I called my uncle and asked if he had gotten the invitation. He said that he didn't want to come because I was being cruel to EM. I immediately called EM. Here's how the conversation went. EM: What? Me: Hey, aren't you coming to the baby shower? EM: Why would I bother stepping foot into that garbage place? Me: For me, because I'm having your grandbaby. Aren't you happy for me? EM: Why would I be happy for you? You took my baby shower away from me. Why would I care what you do? Me: Your baby shower. It's not about you. It's about me and the baby I'm having. EM: I'm sure BD likes to tell you that. I'm sure the ugly bee, Patty, is gonna throw you a great party, but don't expect me or anyone in this family to be there. I hung up on her after that. The day of the baby shower, I was miserable, but tried to appear happy for the guests that did come. BD and I got a lot of gifts, most of them secondhand, but we were really happy regardless. We also got some money to help with a few expenses for when the baby is born. When BD and I got back to his home that night and unlocked the car, I saw a text from EM. She asked if I had been given any money. I immediately call her and ask her why she wanted to know. EM: Because you have to pay rent. I wasn't living with EM at this point and couldn't believe the audacity that she would be demanding rent when I didn't even live with her. Me: No, Mom, I don't have to pay rent. I moved out 6 months ago. If you want rent money, hit up your other kids that do live with you. I'm sure Dave, brother, doesn't mind giving up smoking W for the month, and maybe Kate, sister, wouldn't mind cutting back on buying that latest Michael Kors bag. EM shouted at me about how those 2 couldn't be bothered to help and that I was the only one who would. Me: And why don't you have any money? EM: I went to the casino. Are you gonna give me the money or not? And it comes out. She only wanted more money to blow at the casino. I hate casinos. I hate scratch-offs and the lottery. It's a money pit. After I took a deep breath, I said to her, Me: No, Mom, I will not be giving you any money to feed your addiction. If you had needed money for bills, you wouldn't have taken that money and lost it at the casino. Maybe if you live without hot water and electricity for the month, your other kids will want to chip in, and you'll learn a lesson about being more careful with your finances. I hung up while she was mid-screaming. It felt good to get that over her. She ended up driving over to my place and banging on the door until we threatened to call the police. She ended up leaving and didn't talk to me until my kid was born. Wow, the audacity of her blowing up on you. Making your baby shower about her. then demanding money given from that same baby shower. In hindsight, maybe it's not all that bad that she hadn't come to the baby shower. She sounds like the type of person who wouldn't have hesitated to make a scene and ruin the event out of spite, then steal the gift money on her way out to boot. The kicker is, she thinks I owe her just because she gave birth to me. Looking back now, I'm glad she didn't come to the shower either. Knowing her, she would make it about her and get angry that I was accepting secondhand gifts. Social awareness was never her strong suit. Update 1. I truly believed that 5 states worth of distance would be a crazy mother away from me and my son, but I was wrong. My mother was released early from prison, thanks to virus. Several prisoners at the prison she was at had come down with virus, and her, along with several others, were released. I was not informed as I believe I should have been, and I found out from a Facebook message from my in-laws. My husband, Bill, and I got remarried in a double wedding with my best friend, Barbara, and her now husband, Dave. We all moved to the new state and we were finally getting on with our lives. I transferred from the old branch to the new one and have been working. Bill works from home. We both make good money together and our schedules are flexible so we can make time to do family activities with our son every weekend. I thought life, even with pandemic, was pretty close to perfect, until a week ago. I was checking Facebook at work, like I always do when I have a couple of minutes between calls, when I see a message from my in-laws. My mother had been released from jail and showed up to their house demanding to know where me and my son were. They refused to tell her and slammed the door in her face. My heart jumped into my throat while reading the message. I then noticed I have a message request from someone named Deb. It simply read, "Where are you?" I'm not stupid, and I know it was Mother attempting to contact me, so I blocked that account and called the police in my old state. They stated that unless I can prove it's her, there isn't much they can do. I hoped that if I kept blocking anyone I don't know who contacts me, things would be fine, but I was wrong again. On my Facebook, I do specify where I work, so she found out and contacted the old branch of my job and one of my former co-workers, who was informed of the need for secrecy but didn't care, let it slip where my family and I had moved to. My former boss found out and fired that employee for violating his instructions. He called me to let me know and to apologize for my mother finding out while on his watch. He has since contacted my current boss, and now my current co-workers know that if anyone calls looking for me, to not say a word and to forward them to our answering service or leave them on hold until they hang up. Sure enough, Mother got the phone number to my job and has been calling up to 10 times a day, trying to get me on the phone. Thankfully, my co-workers have been amazing gatekeepers and have not catered to my psycho mother's demands, but simply leave her on hold until she hangs up. I have discarded my old phone carrier and have upgraded to a new plan with a new phone and phone number, but my direct work number is public and I can use it no matter where I am in the country. My mother found it on my LinkedIn page and has been calling me non-stop, but she hasn't left any voicemails. She then called from a number that I assumed was a potential client, and I answered. I am still panicking from this phone call. It goes as follows. Me. Good morning, this is OP. Mother. Hi OP, this is your mother. Me. Mom, you know you're not supposed to contact me. Mother. I know, but I just want to talk to you. Me. I don't want to talk to you. Mother. Listen OP, you can't avoid me forever. This foolish charade of yours has gone on long enough, don't you think? Don't you think it's time you set your selfish wants aside and do what's right for Brandon? He needs his grandmother. Me. Are you joking? Why the hell would my son need you? You tried to kidnap him after having brother smear dog crap on my walls and plant D in my apartment. If Bill hadn't adopted him, who knows what you would have done? You need to leave us alone. Mother. You're not fit to be a mother, OP. You never have been. I can do better for Brandon than you, and that brute you're shacking up with? Feel free to keep that man, but let my grandson be with a family that truly loves him. Me. My blood boiling at this point. Over my dead body. I then hung up and blocked the number. I contacted the police again and told them what happened, and they now acknowledge that she poses a risk to me and my son, so they are looking for her. She lost the house she was living in, so who knows where she is at this point. One thing about my job that I love is that I can bring my laptop home and take calls and deal with clients from home if I choose. But I enjoy working in the office because my coworkers are great and I can meet with clients face to face. But now I have to invite them to my house, and that comes with even more anxiety. School is starting soon, so I made sure to fill out my son's emergency packet, including the list of who is allowed to take him out of school for any reason, just in case my mother tries to kidnap him from school. Barbara and Dave are up to speed on everything, so they will be keeping a lookout while my son and I basically hide away in the house until the Psycho B gives up. We already have 2 guns that we keep secure in a safe in our closet. It's password protected and our son doesn't know it. I've been going to the gun range to learn how to use mine and to get over my anxiety of them. I'm also considering self-defense classes. Update 2. The last time I heard from her, she had been calling my job non-stop, calling me unfit and demanding I give her my son. Since then, the police have been searching for her. She had an active warrant in my old state and hid herself away to avoid being arrested, but that didn't stop her from contacting me and harassing me with the threats to take my son. My son Brandon, who is almost 11, thinks she's a crazy bee and said if he ever had to go with her, he would jump in front of a semi-truck. A bit dark, but I agree with the sentiment. Because of all the constant calls and harassing voicemails Mother left at my work, my boss had to let me go, which was devastating, but I was able to secure a new job quickly. I actually work from home full-time and get paid more, so I am not too heartbroken over the loss. We converted our spare bedroom into my office, and not having to doll myself up on the daily and just lounge in my sweats and answer calls has been pretty frickin' sweet. It gives me more time with my family, and bills in my love life couldn't be better, and this is evidence that I am now pregnant with our first child together. I just found out 2 months ago. Somehow, Psycho B found out, and I don't know how. We didn't announce anything on Facebook or tell anyone but my in-laws. I secretly think one of them let it slip to a relative, and the snowball effect made its way to my mother's ear because I started getting harassing messages from my uncles, both of whom are convicted P, demanding to know where I am, and no amount of ignoring them or threats of police were making them leave me alone. Eventually, I blocked the accounts when I saw ignoring them wasn't working, and for a time, things were quiet, and I felt I could breathe a little. 2 weeks. I was working, and I got a call on my work number. When I picked up, it was Mother calling me again. I found out she had hired a PI to find out my new job and my address, which sent me into a rage I had never experienced before. I can't even describe it, because it mostly consisted of her screaming more threats that not only was she going to take my son, but she would now be taking my unborn child. Straight from my belly if need be. As I had a recorder on my phone, I made sure to record the call for police and hung up on her. I did a reverse call log and saw it was from a Google Voice number, which, if no one knows what that is, it is a number you can link to your actual phone number to avoid your private number getting out. I use it with my cell phone. I called the police and they came over to listen to the recording, but without knowing if she was in my old state or this one, there was little they could do. Tracing the call was pointless as it was from a Google Voice number. So after talking with Bill, we tried contacting Google. After being given the runaround for several days, we finally got hold of someone willing to help. The Google Voice number was disconnected and the private number blocked from their service. This must have sent Mother into a rage because she called my work number from the actual phone to scream at me even more, and I finally had her. It was my uncle's number. I could hear my uncle in the background threatening to R and K my son. Upon hearing that, after so long, a fire was lit under my butt because I wasn't going to let anyone touch with my babies. I called the police in my old state and let them know and sent the recording directly via Google Drive. If you can't already tell, my job uses Google services for everything. Within a few days, the police had a search warrant for my uncle's house. From what I was told, my uncle resisted and was arrested after getting zapped by a taser. Mother, who thought she was so smart, was found hiding in a closet and taken into custody. My other uncle is also now in custody for the continued harassment of me. They searched my uncle's computer and found files upon files of CP, pictures of me and my son, chat logs between him and underage girls, and varying degrees of disgusting, including disgusting pictures. My other uncle confessed to knowing everything and agreed to testify for a lesser charge. Between the 3 of them, there are enough charges to keep them behind bars for more than a decade, and this time, my mother can't use virus as an excuse to walk away free. I am finally free. My family is safe and I am okay. I've been told they were denied bail and I will have to travel to my old state to testify against them, But because of pandemic and a lot of other cases ahead of them, they will not likely see the judge for 2 years. Fine by me. On rare occasions, karma does happen, and when it does, damn, this is good news. I hope they get everything they deserve. I hope you have the strength to testify as well, calling them out in court when they can't gaslight you, or pretend it didn't happen because there's evidence right in front of everyone. I hope it will help you heal to say your part and be heard. These people really need to be put away for life. They're all monsters who were raised by monsters, and they have no shame or guilt for what they're doing. They are just pure evil. Here's hoping that they will be put away forever.